109 for the new Taipei Kings, 94 for the Xac Broncos in this East Asia Super League Group C matchup. Taylor, the Xac Broncos go down for the first time this season. They did show signs of fight, but not all the ingredients were there for their victory, their chances at a victory, whereas the new Taipei Kings, despite some setbacks, some major setbacks, rallied together to pull off the victory and to get their third win in the group. Very important because you need to get to 4, we expect, to advance to the East Asia Super League playoffs.
Yeah, Broncos were hoping to remain undefeated, to be one of the 3 teams to make history in that way to possibly advance to Final 6. But you know what? They really showed how uncharacteristic they were. You know, typically with their youth, they're very young, scrappy, fast. But a lot of times we saw them lose control of the situation. Their defense all around really struggled. The young players that typically don't struggle, well, I mean, you know, case in point, what we saw today in today's matchup. And talked about unfortunate circumstances with the new Taipei Kings. Despite Sakakini's absence, we had Jalen Cole-Harris's debut, and combining with Washburn's 30 points, that's 65 points for the new Taipei Kings. So I would say this is Washburn's best game for this season in TPBL and EASL.
That's right. I did look it up. His previous high this season was just 18 points, so a major step up in the place of his brother. Sonny Sakakini going down with an injury. We're wishing him the best. Definitely was not an easy watch on the replay. But without him, the new Taipei Kings still do okay from 3-point range in a small sample, but they knew their advantage was inside. You mentioned Jason Washburn, and I think we can go into it right away. What was tracking for me, Taylor? The difference of points in the paint. We see the new Taipei Kings 54, the Xac Broncos 38. A difference of 16 is the biggest margin of difference. Previously, it was the Xac Broncos hosting the LG Sakers. And when I dug into the stats, I think 5 block shots by the Kings, denying them the painted area. And then points in the paint includes fast breaks, where the new Taipei Kings 15-6. If a young, scrappy team can't get fast break points, it's going to be a real uphill battle.
And talking about Washburn again, actually, I thought it was a sort of a disadvantage for putting him in. This is his first EASL game this season. You know, again, he typically plays against larger, bigger centers such as Ryukyu Golden Kings or last season Macau Black Bears. But if anything, it really came to an advantage, as you talked about. You know, Kings made 54 points in the paint, Broncos only 38, so they couldn't stop Washburn.
Yeah, and the reason why we thought it might be trouble is because the Broncos' best guard, Ian Miller, is so good at threading those pocket passes when he's double teamed on the ball screen. And so, you know, you'd rather have bigs who can move their feet, slide their feet, like Austin Day, like Jaden Gardner, who was his primary defender before. But I think the key is not necessarily just double teaming the ball screen and the ball handler. It's everybody settling out on the backside in help position to get in front of those pocket passes. And that's where turnovers and fast break points can come about.
Yeah, so credit goes to the Kings for really being able to handle Ian Miller down. He barely made double-double tonight, 10 points and 10 assists, and he has scored 100 points in his EASL career, so actually 101 to be specific.
Yeah, so in his place, scoring punch-wise, Johnson showed off his ability, scoring from all kinds of ranges. He ends up the night with 29 points, also 18 rebounds. Taylor, the Xac Broncos actually had more offensive rebounds than the new Taipei Kings, and yet their play just didn't translate on the floor. And they also have to play in a few nights in Changwon against the LG Sakers, who have a chance to play spoiler. Playing 2 road games is a feature of the East Asia Super League this year, and it's going to be a big challenge, huh?
Yeah, it'll put wear and tear, even if they're coming from a harsher climate to
a more milder
one here out in New Taipei, and then now in Changwon in a couple of days. Now, kind of swinging it back over to the Xac Broncos, despite their loss, you know, Amalfe Johnson really carried through despite Miller not 100%, and bench players even came through 32 points, so that's above their
average. I did the math, and their season average is just 7 points. You would have thought something really went wrong with their offensive formula, and it did, but maybe it's a positive the Xac Broncos can take away heading into their future games. Of course, they're already champions of the league. They've already demonstrated their prowess there. But that was last year. This is a new season. And 3 wins in the pocket is good, but they need to find a 4th, maybe even a 5th to be a real contender for the East Asia Super League title, because those top 2 seeds get that first round bye.
Yeah, and I think in this instance, the Broncos kind of took a page out of New Taipei Kings using their bench player, role player, Ulaanbaatar or Tommy, for instance,
Number
played
10, yeah.
10 minutes, 14 points. So that's really where the meat and potatoes were a lot of the points from the bench points were made from him. So I guess, besides obviously the winning players' performances, I'd say what was tracking for me was Johnson. He had an efficiency rating of 37. He scored, he scored 29 points. And I wanted to also bring up Tommy at Batoshin, 14 points. He made 50% of his shots beyond the arc. So that's what was tracking for me.
Yeah, the Xac Broncos, with their younger players, want to be playing competition, guys who've maybe built up a little bit more 5-on-5 fundamentals, like the new Taipei Kings guys. And I think I want to conclude by giving shout-outs to Joseph Lin, breaking his personal East Asia Super League high of 23 points. Previously, it was 21. And he actually beat his field goal made 9 versus previously 7. So despite some physical defense, despite, maybe physicality being let go in the game, he was able to score the basketball. And in a different way, number 9, Lee Kai-in, only played 25 minutes, but it felt like a real hard 25 minutes. He was the one primarily guarding Ian Miller. He was the one part of fast break run out opportunities. So these 2 pillar guards for the new Taipei Kings, despite Joe not having much to show for his performance with the national team, really, this game tonight was a great demonstrating grounds.
Well said. I would agree with that.
All right, so we'll have to look forward to our next broadcast in the East Asia Super League. The action continues as we're in the month of December, Taylor. Not that much for discovering and finding out yourself out. You got to perform. You got to notch some victories with a chance to go into the playoffs.
Yeah, we'll finally see a couple more teams play more games. So Hong Kong Eastern, we'll finally see them play for a second time. Alvar Tokyo, I believe they're still going to be out in December. But again, we're getting close to the midway point. So
that's right.
They got to dial it up, all teams.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. Be sure to leave a like, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
See ya.
And just like that, that's it.